Here we go. And we're back with another edition of Deliciously Dope's Daily Chronicles. I'm the one, the only Chef Rodney 117. The beautiful Eric Eating from Mother's Infusions will be here momentarily. His ass was running behind. That being said, y'all, today's guest really needs no introduction, but I will tell you that she's been to hell and back, cooking for none other than the Gordon Ramsay on Hell's Kitchen season 16 and season 18, y'all. That's more than once. That's better than you already. I'm joking. I'm just kidding. But the one, the only Miss Heather Williams is here with me today. How you doing, love?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. I'm fantastic. Thank you for coming on the show today.
Anytime.
Yeah, fantastic. Anytime. Look at that. Look at that, y'all. Look at that. An OG Deliciously Dope shirt right there. That right there was from the beginning. I'll be honest with you guys. Oh, absolutely. She's been with me from day one. Now, I am curious, what was it like to cook? I'm just going to start off with it. What was it like to cook with Gordon Ramsay?
You know, it's almost like a once in a lifetime experience. You can work with him in restaurants, you can do whatever, but to be in that predicament, in that atmosphere, it's like a pressure cooker. You have so many personalities, so much shit going wrong. You screw up the easiest shit you've been doing like every day. Hi.
What's up, Heather? What's up, everybody?
You do every day, all day long, you're screwing up. And you're like, how can I not cook a fucking scallop? Why do I keep fucking it up? Why is it not going up? It was just ridiculous. But it's one thing, like, I'll always take to the bank. Like, I love it. My son still remembers it, and he was 3. So
yeah, he was on the show.
Yeah, he was on season 16 because I was the runner-up of that one. So he still thinks I can call Gordon and be like, yo, we're coming to your house this weekend.
He's like, yo, we're doing this. And you know what? In this world, that's awesome though. You know, people don't realize what kind of work it takes to even apply for those shows. You know, you keep telling me to try out for Hell's Kitchen, and I keep telling you no. Maybe one day I'll get it when they do an infused episode, because then I got you. Yeah. You can burn that scallop, be like, I meant to do that. Why? Because I'm burnt too. The point is, like, but it's
baked scallops.
You know damn well, and I'm not gonna lie to you. You know damn well Gordon probably smokes weed.
I'm not sure.
I can't confirm that.
If he does or if he doesn't,
I don't know.
I think most of the time he needs to smoke more if he is, because that dude needs to chill out a little
Or he
bit,
at least smoked weed, you know, during his time coming up. You know what I'm saying? Learning to cook. You know he has.
Oh, he's.
I've read about it. In our industry has dabbled at one point or another.
Oh yeah, and not with just weed, but with like more hardcore shit for sure.
Yeah, you get a lot of drugs in kitchens.
Yep, we're like, what is it? Like the highest rate for like alcohol abuse and drug abuse.
Oh, I totally
have like the highest rate. It's crazy.
It's like not only hard working, fast pace, a lot of competition and stuff, but there's
hours,
not a lot of pay, like some other things that might have those same frustrations, you know. So
I know a couple local restaurants don't even pay people, and it's like, come on, man, like they're busting their ass, and you can't even cut them a check, and the check you cut, it bounces. Like, it's fucked up.
Yeah, a lot of competition also, I think, just drives down the wages and stuff. When I started, you know, cooking 15 years ago, when I got up to learning every station on the line, I was making as much money as like when I just left my kitchen job this last year, you know? So like, it's, you know, it's been weird over the years, I think. Like a lot of restaurants, like
we're way underpaid.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No. And it's funny you should mention that because I want to go ahead and say this. You know, we're all in the industry. We've all been in the industry. You know, Dave, you know, we got him in the studio. We all know what we're talking about. Okay, A. B, let's chit-chat a little bit about how cannabis could actually save the restaurant industry. Okay? We got another shutdown coming, y'all. And let's face it, it's coming. Okay?
Yep.
Because look at it. You know, Australia just had theirs. You know, London and England just went into one. We're right behind them. You know what I'm saying? There's people sicker and shit everywhere. Like, I'll be honest with you, Sparrow Hospital, which is a local hospital here, their ICU is absolutely full.
Wow.
Okay, with COVID patients. Their COVID wing, 80% full.
No, they have like 4 floors right now up at Sparrow in Lansing, and it's like right now the numbers are like 3 times as much as they were back in the spring as well for like positive COVID patients at our main hospital in Lansing.
And so, you know, not making this about COVID, but my point is, we're coming into another shutdown, which is going to affect.
We're barely hanging on as an industry as it is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because most mom and pop restaurants are scraping by right now.
If that.
Oh yeah, dude, it's breaking my heart.
Or in debt.
Yeah. What? So the first wave, whatever that didn't wipe out, the second wave coming in, they might just do it.
Well, dude, you had Thomas Keller shut down 2 restaurants during
this. Yep.
And it's like, if he can't make it.
Yep. Now,
you know,
hang on a second. Are you ready for this? Because I, being the stoner that I am, the chef in me, the business entrepreneur in me, have come up with an idea and a way to help revitalize the food industry. Okay? Because now I got people coming out the woodworks going, hey, chef, hey, chef, hey, chef, hey, chef, can you put weed in? ... Oh, yeah, I can. You dream of it, I can put weed into it. I can make it into an oil. I can make it into a tincture. I can infuse it however way you want and with as much as you want. You want to see Jupiter up close? I can make it happen. You want to, you know, take a little bit of a nap and, you know, relax and just feel refreshed? I can make it happen. I can control how you feel. Not in a manipulative way, but I can help you guide to healing by putting cannabis in food as an edible. You know, it's healing people. It really is. Tinctures are edibles. You get the idea. Oils, butters. That being said, what if? I mean, because it's like a doctor. A doctor knows what medication to put in you to make you feel better. You know, a pharmacist get the idea. Okay, so chefs are basically like doctors now, putting cannabis in food. Tell me I'm wrong.
No, you're not wrong.
Well, I think a lot were before, you know, especially if you have any bit of like health consciousness in your food cooking, which is kind of, I'd hate to say it, but like out the door with a lot of main restaurants and stuff like that. You know, there's not as much scratch kitchens out there anymore. And the nice, fresh ingredients that really do help the body in so many different ways. Like Hippocrates said, you know, let food be thy medicine. Medicine be thy food. So like that's the cooks, the people preparing the food have been I think the biggest part of the medicine, preventative medicine forever. You know,
look at it this way. With this bullshit shutdown, you know, I'm not saying the shutdown is I'm just saying it sucks. Okay. Each time food is deemed what's the word? Essential. Thank you. Essential. I'm smoking, obviously. It's deemed essential, and so has cannabis. So you're telling me that these two, now everybody's relying on us to cook their food because they can't cook for shit. Let's face it. We all know someone. And, you know, provide them with their cannabis and sometimes both. That being said, what if a lot of shops, because CBD is legal now, there are ways, and I say shops as in restaurants, sorry, brick and mortars. What if they started offering CBD with their food? So you get your normal plate of food. Okay, great. Let's say you go to the Per Se and Thomas Keller has smoked halibut or something like that kind of dish, right? You get the same dish, but you also get a 1 milliliter syringe of CBD. You feel me? That ain't that extra hard to do. You feel me? And then boom, you infuse your meal. After that, you're going to feel great. It's going to be the best meal. It's going to be infused Thomas Keller, cuisine. You can literally do that. So much so, that's what I'm going to do. So we're going to come up with a concept. It's going to be like HelloFresh. And we're going to send you the list of ingredients, my personal recipes. And then I'm going to send you a syringe of CBD so you can infuse your food. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
Then once, marijuana becomes decriminalized, I can then send you THC as a personal gift from me to you.
Gotcha.
I think a lot of education also can be brought to a lot of people as far as like, everyone's heard of, making edibles, grinding up some buds and putting them into butter and all that stuff. But nobody knows where to start as far as like hemp and CBD, So like buying your own extracts like is really cool and controlled, and you got the measurements and stuff. But as far as like offering a good product, especially like farm to table type stuff, then we're talking dealing with the local hemp farms, getting buds with certain COAs, percentages, and teaching them how to infuse their own foods, infuse their own meals and dishes and stuff like that.
Oh, absolutely.
Right, you're taking it to the next level.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I think that's just like a little bit of education that needs to happen, and that's it.
Right.
Nothing much more.
We have a comment here, actually. Jeremiah, how you doing? Good morning. Jeremiah asked, it's been hard motivating students to come to culinary schools because of the state of the industry. It's sad. You're absolutely, right.
That's heartbreaking.
Yeah. That's like with the pays not keeping up and stuff, like I even said before, like your regular line workers, and even like you got a lot of chefs, sous chefs, and managers and things making some good money at some places. But I've worked at some nicer restaurants and some mom and pops, and like the line cooks, I just don't think they're paid enough.
No, they don't get respected enough.
That's where people are going to start. Most people don't expect just to get out of culinary and jump right into a chef position, which they don't realize how
some expect
attainable that is, because that's how it happens for a lot of people.
Exactly.
The thing with school, it's like they kind of glorify our industry, that it's like, yeah, you can go out, you can make this money, you can become an executive chef, and you can run stuff, and you can go on a cruise ship and run a cruise ship, you can run a casino, you can do this. Yeah, but what about that gap space where you need to grind it out? You need to work your way up. Nobody's going to, hand you an executive chef position right out of culinary school. You're not even wet behind the ears of what's to come in a restaurant.
If you ask me how to break down an avocado, I'm going to put you in dish until you figure it the fuck out.
Oh, dear God.
And like, okay, so also like with
Go mop the freezer.
Yeah. Go find the bacon stretcher.
Oh yeah, that thing is amazement.
No, funny story. So I came into work one day, and they were like in the kitchen that I worked at. I had my sous chef. He goes, "Hey chef, what's going on?" Blah blah blah. He's like, "We have a new guy," and I'm like, "Okay, cool." I knew about it, but I never met the guy. My sous chef did the hiring. I trusted him. It was a good, it worked. You know what I'm saying? It was just an extension of my arm, which is a perfect sous chef. You want a little bit of a criminal, you know what I mean? And because if you get a little bit of a criminal, he's gonna come up with some shit that's fucking borderline criminal, but at the same time, it's fucking gorgeous for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway, so he goes, "I'm sorry. That's all I'm gonna tell you." I go, "What?" He goes, I'm sorry. He must have lied on his resume, but he passed the test and he's in now. We got him at a good price though. I was like, all right, cool. And it was a fair price. It was a golf course, so I was able to pay, you know what I mean? Because it was seasonal work, and so we're good. But it was a good price for him. According to his resume. You feel me? When
they're always good on paper.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So I was there.
Difficult.
So after that, I did my rounds, checked it out. There's things you do, paperwork. So being a chef isn't all that glamorous. I was still half stoned, not gonna lie to you. And so within an hour of me being there, this kid comes to me and goes, Chef, just starts kissing my ass. And I'm like, that's fine. Calm down. What do you need? I got to go. Like, if you need 5 minutes, it's fine, but I got to make that time to talk to you. And he goes, I need to know how to break down an avocado. And I looked at him. I go, are you fucking kidding me? And he goes, well, how do you, how do I answer this? I was like, all right, I'll show you once. So that's what I said. I was like, I'll show you once. So I showed him, you know what I'm saying? I used his knife. And it's funny because I asked him, we got to fix the fire alarms again. We smoke box the studio, y'all. All right. Sorry. So I asked him permission to use his knife because you do, it's just a curious,
it's respect.
Exactly. If I want him to do that for me, I got to do it to him. That's how, it's a fair two-way street. So I did, and he was like, oh, I'm like, calm down. You know what I mean? Like it's.
I know you get all excited because you're using
Yeah.
your knife.
Yeah. And it's just like, it's just a knife. It was a good knife. If I remember correctly, it was some kind of Wusthof. It was one of the Wustofs. It was nice. It was nice. Clearly, he saved up some money and got him some good steel. That's the way I looked at it. And
Right.
and I was like, all right, check it out. So I took it and I, broke down the avocado with the knife. I do it to where like there's a trick to where you can actually hit the seed and then actually cut and spin the seed inside the avocado and then break it all open and pull the seed at the same time.
No shit.
Yeah, I'll show you. I'll do a video of it, but you just go bam, and then you literally just grab it and twist and turn, the knife away from you, and then you just like grab it with both fingers on the side, and as you're opening it like that, it's already cut. Your knife's gonna be sharp though, and then you can pull the seed out.
Right.
Then set your avocado down, take the seed off, call it a day.
Nice. That's good shit.
So it's just like you got to do. There's a certain way, but I show him how to do it. All right, cool. Nowhere did I tell him take that knife and just stab it.
Oh,
he did. He did. As soon as it went in,
right through his
knife,
hand.
mind you. Okay. I didn't. That's not how you. Okay.
It's not how you do anything.
The tip of the knife was pointing out the back of his hand.
Oh.
So now I got to get this, and he's just bleeding all over my kitchen. So I got to get this kid from where he's at to wherever the closest ER is. That's a 6-minute ride. This kid is screaming bloody murder.
Oh my God.
So how the hell do I shut him up? You know what I'm saying? I was like, how old are you? And he goes, 25. I'm like, perfect. Give me a shot of Jack. It'll calm him down. You know what I'm saying? He's a line cook. He's probably half drunk anyways. That worked, actually. He's like, he took the shot. He's like, I'm like, no, it really was a labored breathing that did it. But all right, get in the fucking car. You know what I mean? And so
he's focusing on the burn. It's like, it burns so good.
Right. So we get to the emergency room, obviously, big issue. They get him right in, and they were like, is he drunk? And I'm like, no, I gave him a shot to calm him down. That's what you're smelling. He's just, they're like, I was like, you can test his blood. You just drip, just get some and just test it.
Running out.
Yeah. So it was like, go ahead. And they actually did. They actually did. Because they have to now because they smelled alcohol. They already noted it. So for the insurance and workman, they have to. He was fine. I think it was like 0.01, which, okay, mouthwash or that one shot or something. He was fine. He didn't come back to work. I'm going to end the story right there. He didn't come back to work. I would have,
the biggest thing in culinary school was cutting an avocado, sent everybody to the friggin' ER to get stitches. Because they would take the friggin' like the back end to hit the seed.
So much she's feeling it there.
I know. I'm like, Jesus Christ. I can't see you.
Just kind of push the smoke out the way.
But everybody would put the heel of the knife right through their friggin' palm.
Dude.
Oh, jeez.
That's insane. Like it's crazy, but it's luckily we have cannabis to help us through those times.
Yeah, the things that chefs have to deal with, that's another one of those things you got to deal with a bunch. It's usually a high rotation of new people coming in and stuff, training on your ways and stuff.
Oh, it's like a rotating door.
And then you got this long list of stuff you got to take care of, and by the end of the week, you're looking at 70, sometimes 80 hours. And I know we all have been there in the kitchen.
Oh.
I'm going to say something.
When I'm in full swing.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry. Full swing.
No, I'm just saying, like, when I'm in full swing, I'm putting in probably like 100 to 120 hours a week. It's
killing
sick.
it.
Yeah.
It is
So,
sick.
I want people to realize, if you want to pull something away from this conversation today, one of the thesis of the, this concept is this. Listen, y'all have been burned before. Everybody's been burnt before. Don't tell me, whether you burnt your finger in your arms or literally you've been burnt by your best friend or something like that. We've all been burnt before, but I fucking guarantee you that chefs have been burnt twice as much because we've all had those call-ins on our day off. Dude, I had a chef who was faced with, I'm going to get married today, and he kept it in town just in case because he cared about his job. But like the chef was like, or the business was like, hey, if you don't come in, you lose your job. He's like, but I'm literally standing in front of my wife right now getting married. They're like, we don't care, and hung up the phone. Homeboy had to like leave his wedding, which he ended it, and not ended it, but like, you know, he finished the wedding. Like he was like, fuck it. New job, new career. And like,
that's a whole new level of fuck.
That's a whole new level of petty. That's my point. Yo, homeboy had this time in, and I seen it there because I worked there. He had the time in for like 6 months. Okay. So I'm like, no, chefs have been burnt twice as much as my point there. We go through a lot, you know? And so again, we use cannabis in one way, shape, or form or the other to help kind of make us through that bullshit so we can just survive. You know, that being said, I do have a question, if you don't mind, Heather. What cannabis do you consume and why?
In college, I used to smoke a lot. Sorry, Mom. It was just like the whole stress of college and like trying to make sure I had good grades, and I didn't know what the hell I was doing, and burning myself and cutting my finger open, and you know, I just started smoking. And then throughout the years, I started getting migraines the more I would smoke. So I'm like, all right, I'm not going to smoke weed anymore. So I stopped, and then somebody introduced me to edibles. And they were like, well, here's a Jolly Rancher that's infused. Try it, see how it works, see if you get migraines, stuff like that. And that's when I opened the one steakhouse. And I'm like, all right, cool. So I ate half the Jolly Rancher because I'm like, I don't know what the hell this thing's going to do to me.
Right.
Next thing I know, I'm like calm, cool, collected, just very mellow. Right. And I have like anxiety really bad. So it's starting to help with my anxiety.
Okay.
So like I'm trying to figure out the edible situation, I guess you can say, where it doesn't affect me to where I can't function, but it helps with my anxiety.
Have you tried, are you just doing straight like THC edibles? Have you tried like CBD? Have you tried ratios of CBD to THC, anything like that?
I tried the bullshit CBD that people were selling in like the pyramid scheme, and the taste was awful. It was like some minty bullshit. Gotcha. And I'm like, this is awful. I can't do it. It would literally make me gag. And so like I'm still dabbling, I guess, to see what works for me. So I'm very open to what is out there.
Well, I'd be happy to share some of our CBD products with you so you can kind of try a mix, you know, depending on how many milligrams of the THC edibles you can find over there. And
because like I'm a mom at the end of the day.
How much CBD?
So I don't want to be stupid on the couch like, I'm high.
No, like
I just
need to chill out. And that's what I found the best with, like, because I really kind of the similar situation as far as like trying a few CBD products, and for me it wasn't taste as much as like price and not just availability but different forms and stuff like that. It wasn't really until I found like hemp flowers for smoking that I really noticed a big difference with like the CBD and stuff like that. And then once I started making extracts out of it and doing my own like CBD and trying daily, you know, 33 to 50 milligrams of CBD in the morning time or throughout the day, like I noticed a big difference with my anxiety. And I think that's the part that I know that I think helps with my anxiety when I'm smoking flowers. And sometimes that's why I think, oh shit, I got to smoke more flowers to compensate for that. But then all of a sudden I'm like really fucking baked sometimes, you know, and I don't that as much when I bring up the CBDs and the other cannabinoids that help more with the stress and stuff. And something recently I found was Delta-8 through Chef Rodney here, and that's something that's very low anxiety, gives you that whole medible feeling where it just relaxes your body and everything.
And that's what I need because I'm constantly stressed about something.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if you want the entourage effect, which is what we call all the cannabinoids working together, and that does include THC. The entourage effect is being high, okay? So the entourage effect, if you want that without anxiety, then try diet weed, also known as Delta-8. It's literally all of the cannabinoids. So you have all the CBD spectrum in addition to like, it's what, 0.03% of the THC spectrum?
Yeah, in order to be like legal to sell commercially,
It's
especially across the state, it's
0.03% or something
0.3%.
0.3%. It's like a low dose of THC, just enough to give you that head high, if you will, in the entourage effect, but no anxiety. So anxiety actually starts at the front of the head and then moves back to the back. You see what I'm saying? So you feel high, and when people are like, "Oh, I feel high in my face," that's true. So you actually start feeling high from the front of your head to your back, to the back of your head, to your corpus cerebellum. Okay, that's where anxiety starts. You see what I'm saying? So the head high, absolutely fine, and that's where that starts from. It's moving from your prefrontal cortex all the way back through your head. Once it reaches the corpus cerebellum in the back, that's when anxiety actually kicks in. You see what I'm saying? Fight or flight, fear, paranoia, the whole nine. The unhappy, part of the entourage effect that people that have high anxiety, that makes them sensitive to THC and that turns them off. CBD is where it's at. Delta-8, this diet weed that they found, I can personally attest to it. It's right here. It's actually in my Roken vape cart. Guys, get one of these Roken vapes. They're amazing. This is Blueberry Afugu made by Crystalline, Nick Young.
Oh, yeah, nice.
You know what I'm saying?
Crystalline's got good stuff.
I call him up anytime I want one. Boom, I hit it, and it's just like I'm high, lifted, elevated, medicated. The entourage effect is there, but there's no anxiety.
Right.
I was like, where was this shit 10 years ago?
Yeah, seriously, though.
You know what that?
Where was I know a lot of education has been out there and stuff, but as far as like what people are doing nowadays to compile and like do different studies based on how people feel from the different terpenes mixed with different amounts of CBD, the THC, CBN, CBC, all the cannabinoids. So it's pretty cool to now from going through the research is getting more and more, and people are compiling old research and new research and all that stuff. And it's just really cool to see how things work, not only at the cellular level, but also just, when it's used in different ways, so those terpene profiles that he's talking about in these, with especially raw cannabis products, those sometimes increase the values of things greatly, like carophyllene is the one that's really good for like relaxing and stuff. It's found in lavender, which is a lot of people know like aromatherapy and other things to help relax you in general. Right. But when you find cannabis or hemp or other ones that are high in the carophyllene, then those are a lot of the strains that are associated with relaxing people and helping with anxiety and stuff. Speaking
of strains, I filmed a strain of the week this week, and I did it on that banana cake that I got.
Nice.
All right. That was a 90% indica.
Wow.
Okay. So I was like, check it out. So I looked up all of the everything I find on it. The terp list, carophyllene was on there.
Yes.
And awesome. I can tell you from smoking it, I have my medical marijuana card. So, it's one of my med purchases. It was a bit stronger. It's 27% THC, which we have learned to know that those don't really mean much, but it gives you an idea. It builds an idea. Yeah. Nugs were terpy, dude. I've got pics. Trichomes, like, whoa.
Beautiful.
I loved it. The high, though. I liked it, but at the same time, like, it's definitely an evening weed.
Yeah.
You feel me? Smoke this. Don't go drive. You just,
Yeah, the
just chill and go to sleep.
Which are like relaxation and pain. Like those are both ones that are a lot of times in a lot of indicas. You find in higher amounts.
Robert Hocko's lighting us up this morning. Good morning, Robert. How you doing, baby?
What's up, Robert?
He was saying back a few minutes ago when we were talking about burn scars and stuff. All kinds of burn scars aren't visible. That ain't visible to the eye. He's absolutely right. Absolutely right. Nom nom nom. We're probably talking about edibles. I know Robert loves his Hocko, man. That's my boy. We're actually I'm gonna go ahead and just say it. Hocko's actually gonna be doing a segment on the Deliciously Dope TV network called Can I Fix It? He's like a cannabis Bob Vila. Like he filmed some stuff. We got some pretty cool stuff, man. Like I love his beard and his Boston accent. He's my Boston Bean. It's like a little bromance right there, oh yeah. But you said you could change your strain. He's absolutely right. So different strains have different terpene profiles, ergo different entourage effects. He's absolutely right. But for those of us who have limited resources around us, with cannabis becoming, I wouldn't say mainstream, but more well-known, we have more dispensaries, more growers, ergo more selection, if you will. But here's the thing. there's a lot more that goes into that. You know what I'm saying? Like digestion versus, because let's face it, smoking is the fastest way. It's an instant, heal. It's an instant elevate, instant entourage effect. Whereas like if I take an edible, it could hit me in 15. It could hit me in, 2 hours. It depends on your metabolism.
And edibles aren't always like, unless you're making them yourself, they're not always like labeled what strain they're made out of and stuff. Sometimes it's just like a THC milligram level on them and stuff.
Right.
And sometimes they're mixes of a bunch of different strains.
And sometimes somebody's math could be wrong.
Yeah, and even if the math is perfect, like it's not. There's not always a bunch of strain information on all edibles, which is happening more and more as time goes on. You are seeing more companies getting specific on their concentrates, especially and edibles.
Absolutely, but we talked about it. We got to get to a couple segments, y'all. I mean, I'm loving this, but we got to at least give the people what they want. They don't want this. No, I'm joking. We're going to do a little bit of like, I don't know. Let's, what segment do you want to do? Is the first one, it's usually what? Daily positivity? No, this week I learned, holy shit, we got to stop smoking this much. All right. So this week I learned, don't smoke so much in the studio, guys. I'm sorry. It's terrible, but you're all going to laugh at me. It's fine. She's trying not to laugh right now. She's like, this high bastard. This show is tanking. It's going, no, I'm joking. But no, this week I learned, real talk, like, Heather, thank you for being here for day one. I learned, we talked about this earlier. We talk about this all the time. Some people, they'll show you their real colors instantly. Real recognize it's real, but some people will try and take advantage of you, and you got to give them that 90 days to feel them out, because that's when a person's going to show their true colors. Unless real recognize real. If you vibe the same, you ain't even got to, you skip that 90 days. You feel me? But I've had a few people, that I've been working with and stuff like that, kind of just like hit me from the side, with some shit, and it is what it is.
They always do.
They allegedly got their feelings hurt, and that's fine. But don't hate on me. You didn't even come to me and ask me. That's it. You didn't even question me. You assumed, but I ain't about to let you make an ass out of me. Like, sorry, like you better learn who you talk to. Because now you got to earn my respect back. So it ain't, coming back. I'm going to give you another chance because I believe in second chances. I'm a black sheep. I'm an underdog.
But
all right?
you need to admit fault.
Exactly. Personal accountability, dog.
Right. If you can't hold yourself accountable for what you did and how you fucked somebody over, you don't deserve that second chance.
Exactly. But at the same time, you got to understand and respect the fact that, if I let you come back into my life, like,
it's definitely not the same potential.
Right.
Right.
Like, I'm going to trust you about as far as I can throw you, and I ain't picking you up. You feel me? So it's like,
exactly.
That's where it's at.
Lead weight, so.
Exactly. I mean, what have you learned this week?
That next year is going to be very testing and trying.
Yep.
That we're going to kill the environment with all the paper products that we're going to be using.
Well, hopefully the hemp industry picks up so we can use that, because you can get, toilet paper, you can get shopping bags, everything.
It's a supply and demand thing with like the price at this moment. It could easily be brought down. And it's also something that, like, when we talk about destroying the environment, like just all this barren land that's been destroyed by farms and stuff, like it could be regenerated by planting some cover crops and some hemp and a whole bunch of other things, cover crops underneath hemp in the wintertime.
Nice.
And like, we're talking the carbon that's in the roots of these plants and in the fungus that's in the roots of these plants is where all this carbon dioxide from the Dust Bowl all the way on from all this conventional farming has gone into the air and created this carbon dioxide bloom. It's coming from the soil. And so we need to keep it in the soil, and we need to build it in the soil. They will take carbon dioxide. The plants take in carbon dioxide the same way we take in oxygen. They build it. I'm sorry. They take in the carbon dioxide and they split it, and they create carbohydrates, which build their plant life and builds their roots underground, builds their stalks and everything up top. So we're talking about fixing the environment, fixing greenhouse gas problems, fixing food problems, fixing housing problems, all types of stuff. We could plant all this barren land and it will regenerate it. And that's the best part. Like, it works just like cover crops as far as regenerating the soil.
You heard it here first. I mean, that's I hope that some of the research that we're doing with cannabis and things like that is on those things as well. I'm good on them, man. I really do. And I know that it is because you've seen the hemp 2x4s now. You've seen hemp houses. Hemp is mold resistant. It's fire, retardant as well. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, why aren't we funding this? Why aren't we doing this? Oh, wait, that's right. Because of the war on drugs. Are you kidding me right now?
Yeah.
And so it's like, hempcrete is out there, y'all. That's what we're talking about. And hemp 2x4s. All of this is gorgeous stuff, beautiful stuff that could literally save everything going on, not just COVID, but everything going on. Dude, we owe, let's face it. It's like, my boy Jimmy Kang from Wu-Tang Clan said the other day, China owns a third of us. This is the truth. It doesn't matter what side of the fence what color, it doesn't matter. We owe a debt. Okay. Whoever put it there that's what we owe. But wait a second. What if we adapt this hemp into it? We'll be able to pay back that money and own ourselves in a few years. Yeah. China ain't gonna be mad because they're gonna want a part of it. And they know, they're gonna send business over here to have stuff made like it has been doing. Let's face it. You see what I'm saying? That's gonna be part of the conditions. It is because their economy tanked when we started pulling resources. Absolutely. But the problem is, we got to figure all this out.
Yeah. And another big thing is like a lot of the corn and grains and other things go to like biodiesel production in America. Oh, yeah. And across the world in general. So when we talk about also like bringing that whole factor into that whole industry into like the farming part of it and stuff and using it for that, like if hemp was included in the farm subsidies the same way that corn and those other crops were, then these farmers would be planting it and they can plant it on their barren land. You can't plant corn on land that hasn't produced, that's barren from growing on it for too long because it strips the nitrogen. Yeah, it strips everything from it, and it heals the land. So like hemp, when you plant it, it actually heals it. It puts back instead of stripping from it. That's what a lot of people are not understanding. So you give these farm subsidies, you get farmers planting all this old land. You just pay the farmers pretty much to grow hemp the same way they're paying them to grow corn. Yeah, and not only does it help greenhouse, it helps also produce biodiesel fuel because it can be produced in the same way as corn for biodiesel fuel and things. So it's just needs to be planted more. Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's a really positive thing to look forward to. I hope that it's in the future here. That being said, actually, let's go into a segment here. Let's make a good transition / segue into a little ditty that we like to call Daily Positivity. Just over here keeps feeding me joints. He's like, keep smoking this. All right, check it out. Daily Positivity is a little ditty that basically we all have, those mental health days. Let's face it, those exist. We all have stressors, anxieties, whatever you have. Mental health is important. Mental health is real. Y'all take care of yourselves. We're all here for you. We're all completely approachable. I know Heather's probably the most approachable of us all. Man, dude, you're on Hell's Kitchen. That's gnarly as hell. People know you. You know what I'm saying? That's awesome, girl. So you can shout back to all those high school haters that are, coming out the woodworks now because they are. And be like, yo, now you want to say something. You feel me? I get it. And I love you for that because I know what you're saying to them. You ain't even got to say it. I ain't going to do that. But I know exactly what you're saying.
I stay classy, though.
That being said,
I don't go to that level.
Oh, yeah. But to kind of move on from that, you've used positive things each day. So daily positivity is where we kind of like, this helps us learn and grow and kind of manifest good things. Something that I use for daily positivity, and I know they're annoying as balls, but hey, guys, I got a little something for those dogs. They're calm as shit now. Mary Palmer hooked me up with some of their Best Bug Dogs CBD treats. Yes. You ain't hear shit, do you? That's my point. They eat one of those, they're out. They love it. Oh, they love these more than their normal treats now. And I believe that we just create. Well, our dogs are stoners anyways. Yeah, they're just getting contact buzzes when we smoke in the house. But these CBD treats, that's a nice balance to it. Yeah, they're mammals as well. I'm good with it. It's healthy for them. I know who makes it. I know what's in it. I haven't gotten high and tried one yet, but I'm sure it's bound to happen. But a little daily positivity is the happiness that I get from my dogs. My question to you, Heather, is what's something that you use?
my son. I could have the shittiest day.
Absolutely.
Good one.
And you know, whether he's having a good day or bad, just being around him, I'm like, I created that life. Like that little
made
person.
this. Yeah.
I love him more than anything in this world.
Oh,
And you know, I actually got
all right,
So
come on,
sweet.
there you go. That's the mom right there.
got fucking hated on season 18 for shopping for my son.
No, that's
Like when we won the shopping spree, like, and I aimed
Right.
everything towards like buying shit for me and him,
right.
or
Yeah.
like my son and I. Let's get
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
People are like, "Oh, I can't believe she wasted her money. Who does that? Oh, all she's got is her son." And I'm like,
Who takes
fucking
care of
mom at
their
the end of the
kid?
day?
Haters
But I
gonna
was the
hate, ainers
only
gonna ain't.
parent. I was the only fucking parent in that group. So like every other woman that I was with, they're like, "Oh, that's cute, but I'm gonna go buy this meal set for myself, or I'm gonna go buy myself this grill." And I'm like, "That's cool. I'm buying my son an apron, his first knife, and some spatulas that match with me." Because
See, and that's
I'm
real
not
recognized as real right there.
yeah, like
That's
I fucking hate self-centered people.
Yes, totally agree.
Hate it.
If only they had a little bit of daily positivity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like that's just
yeah.
like, yo, who hurt you enough to be a piece of shit?
Yes,
That's
Yeah.
just
And it's
like,
because now one of them's a mom, and I'm like, "Oh, now your whole life revolves around."
no.
your
You know what you
kid."
should do, and this is petty
No,
as
you
shit,
don't
but you know what you should
understand.
do? Email her the website where you can get the apron and the knife. You feel me?
I should.
Or send
Like,
her
here,
son something
yeah.
customized.
Can reiterate that. Yeah.
It's just you know. Okay, the good side of me says let karma play its role, do its thing, and yes, that's what you should do. People listen, karma. But I'm gonna invoke
she
my
knows
monkey
that.
complex for a moment. You should definitely consider, at least think about, for daily positivity and manipulate it in a positive way, sending her son something or her kid something personalized from the exact same place you got something for your son, and being like, don't worry about it, it's all this thought of you. But that's petty as shit. Don't be petty, y'all. We can have these thoughts, just don't act on them.
yeah. Also,
But that's what I would do.
a big understanding like where everybody's at, you know, understanding when someone is like self-centered, immature, or dealing with some maybe major trauma, some other shit going on.
And everything
I
I just said was self-centered and
like,
immature. Absolutely.
Angels and assholes.
Yeah, but
they
it
all
was funny. Like it wasn't like it was aimed to hurt anybody.
No. It's
was
just it's
aimed
hypothetical
to just
situation
dig
that I was joking about. Yeah, absolutely. I don't want people to think
it
like, well,
wasn't
he's
like-
petty as shit.
No, I don't. Shit, man. We all got it.
Listen, I'm an asshole. Let's get it
all
right.
got it.
I'm an asshole, but I'm not a dickhead.
But
There's
that's
a
why we get along, because everybody has a little bit of asshole in them.
Yeah.
Yeah, heck yeah. If not, if you don't have a spine, you don't know how to like punch back or like, you know, express things that are coming out of you right at the moment.
have
like
to have a backbone.
you know.
Yep.
Shit, we're all people. We all learn how to speak.
In our
somewhere
industry,
on
if
our
you don't
own.
have a backbone, you will get eaten alive.
Oh yeah.
Holy shit, yeah.
Like
Well, being
calamari.
a woman, trust me.
Yeah.
I've been through the ringer more than once on having to prove myself again and again.
Speaking
yeah.
speaking of women, and I say this to you because I know you're a fan as well. I'm actually going to have on the show here soon. We have to lock down a date. She has a lot going on. Miss Grill Bitch, Beth Aretsky.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome. You know, definitely. So I might be able to work it out, or we have a call in, and I'll just have you pop in. You know what I'm saying, and say hi. I think that'd be really. She would really love. She would love that.
Dude, that would be fucking awesome.
I just talked to her on FaceTime last night because, you know, we talked. That's just it. When you meet these people, Heather, when I meet you, you know, how many times we video chatted? You just, you know, there was a couple things, you know, let's face it. You were going through some shit and you're like, hey, I had that mental health group, you know, restaurant self-care, you know, restaurant mental health and self-care. I still am as active in that as I possibly can. But with everything going on, you got to weigh it out. No one's, I've got a lot of good admins in there and a lot of people that jump on it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, oh, all right, I got to let them do them, you know? And then when it's important, I'll jump in. Heather, you reached out to me and you were like,
I read some of that.
Yeah. And it's helpful for us because, like, okay, I'm not the only person, you know, it's a little bit of, you know, you help them helping yourself, you know, you feel good about that. That's my point. We get along great that way, you know, and Beth Aretsky's in there with us. You know what I'm saying? She worked alongside the late and great Anthony Bourdain. You know what I'm saying? That's definitely a person you want to know.
Man.
You know, if you real recognizes real, you can't get more real than that. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? And she introduced me to one of my really good friends on the Course Grind podcast, Sean Rossler. He's got some new stuff coming out, y'all. Definitely check that out. I love those people. Like, I'm excited to be able to connect with those people, to be connected with, you know, you, Heather, Eric, Dave. You know, this is a good symbiotic thing. We're all here for the exact same reason, and that's to try and better not only ourselves, but people that we can help. You know what I'm saying? That's just it.
Right.
Because you want to, you know, teach that. A day without, you know, a day that goes by without learning anything new, complete waste of a day. You know, that being said, let's talk about a little bit of, you know, cutting board. Absolute shit show today. Absolute shit show. I am not on point. I'm sorry. But you know what? This is a good comical episode for people to be like, look at this dumbass.
Fun, man.
Oh, it's amazing, man. It's amazing. But check it out. Hawko, I don't think you could ever be a hassle, you beautiful Boston bean. You. I love you, man. You're amazing. You're amazing, man. I love you. Calm down. No. I don't want to push him, but at the same time, I got no reason to. I love him. His beard is just, you know, it's seaworthy is what it is. But the cutting board, this is where we take a cannabinoid out of the spectrum and beat the piss out of it. No, really, we just put it on the cutting board and break it down for you. That's a pretty decent culinary. I don't care. Anyways, cutting board. So this week, I'm really into this 1-to-1. We were talking about this. Okay. So I'm going to have to I'm going to combine cannabinoids because I'm really into mixing, and you know this, CBD and THC. My perfect edible is 100 milligrams CBD to 10 milligrams THC. That CBD curbs the anxiety and the THC for me. That's a perfect ride.
Yeah.
So when I get 1-to-1 ratios where I can create them, that's to me the perfect entourage effect. You know what I'm saying? So for me this week, I would definitely have to say I'm going to cheat and break my own stupid little law or rule or segment or whatever and say 1-to-1 for sure. It's a really good ratio to me. For example, in this one, it's 8-to-8. So that's pretty decent for a tincture. So that makes me happy. Heather, do you have a favorite cannabinoid?
No, because to be honest, like, I don't know much. So I'm trying.
And that's perfect.
So that's one of the reasons, like, I jumped on this bandwagon with you because I want to learn more about, you know, cannabis infusion and THC, and obviously that's beneficial in more ways than one. It's not just to get high, like, for medical purposes and so much other stuff. So that's why I've been on this lovely ride with you.
Absolutely. And again, you're rocking the OG Deliciously Dope. That's one of the originals.
And
that's one of the originals.
THC, it's like a gateway cannabinoid, you know, and not in the old sense of, you know, gateway drug or anything like that. No one wants to hear that word anymore. But like gateway cannabinoid, everyone gets into and hears of THC as far as cannabis, you know, and its uses. And sometimes people get into it for medical, but most of the time it's for, you know, relaxing, get high and stuff. You know, it's how people first hear about it or try it. But there is a considerable amount of people using it just for like getting into it just on the medical side nowadays. But it gets people into the world of the hemp world and the cannabis world and learning about the different cannabinoids and things like that. So we're all you know, on this track at a different place and have our own different pieces of the puzzle. So, you know, just, I mean, you know,
what other like industry or like what other science can you like literally be medicated and still learn about said, you know what I'm saying? Like, jump on, you know, if you kind of jump on the bandwagon, I'm just call it a bandwagon, you know, why not? Because everybody's doing it, so might as well, right? If you jump onto that bandwagon, what other ride are you going to take that you can be high as hell and elevated and experience firsthand instant results with the entourage effect? You don't have an ibuprofen system in your body, but you got an endocannabinoid system. That's what I want. That's what I'm saying. You don't have a Valium system. You have an endocannabinoid. That's my point. So how more natural, farm to table, however you want to look at it, can you get? Hell, even the roots of that plant, when ground up and put in teas, The roots of that plant cleans the earth. I mean, come on, dude. There's so many yet I don't see any downsides.
There's
I mean, economic collapse could happen, but that's not, we'll just get high and forget about it.
There's a lot of medicines out there in nature, and that's where most of them are found of in the pharmaceutical industry anyways. They're all found of, most of them hear of some effects from some plants, and they start to research and isolate compounds and test them in different ways, and then they're isolating one specific compound usually to make these medicines. And sometimes nature has hundreds or more compounds in one single plant, like cannabis. It could have hundreds of cannabinoids and then hundreds of different terpenes and other things alike, that are similar medicines and shared with other plants too. Cedar, sage, mangoes, and mycerine, and lavender, and a whole bunch of other things that it shares medicines with.
So it's funny you should say that, because I want to touch on that real quick. So mycerine, myrcene, however you say it.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
That's found. Neither am I. We know what we're talking about, so it works. You know what I mean? Like that thing. So the cannabinoid.
We made a tomato.
Exactly. It's tomato. It's a tomato. Anyways, so myrcene, mycerine, that terpene is also found in mangoes in a decently high concentration. And lemongrass. So if you consume these things while consuming cannabis, yes, it's going to blend into that entourage effect. So much so, okay, yeah. So if you got your list of, if you got your list of, let's say terpenes here in the cannabis, and you got your list of terpenes in the fruits or whatever you're eating, and you like DNA, lay those over, they're all going to compound. They don't just cancel each other out. They actually do compound.
That's where like the entourage effect comes from when they test these different terpenes mixed with cannabinoids and stuff. So like if THC and CBD helped with a factor of 1 and 2, added together, they should equal 3 for a help in the body, but they might equal 5 or 10. And like when mycerine or like carophyllene is mixed with CBD or THC, it can increase like the effects of like pain or relaxation and stuff like that by 100 times the effectiveness of them. So that's why synergistic, the added amounts actually equal more when they're combined together. Like they unlock and relax the different like cells and receptors that we're talking about is kind of what, when they're docking on these cells, and it makes it so that they have different functions when different cannabinoids, different things are docking on our cells. So it's like the symphony effect, where one instrument sounds awesome, but 10, 20, 40 instruments together sound even better when they're in harmony.
Right.
And I don't think that I have ever heard anybody phrase it so symphonetically, I want to say. That's brilliant. He's absolutely right. A trumpet solo is amazing, but it sounds better with the entire opera, if you will. You know what I'm saying? And whatever. The point is, I don't know what that was.
Siberian Orchestra.
Yeah, that's my point. So guitar solo is great, but it sounds better as a band. My point is that entourage effect. He's absolutely right. It's one of those. It's definitely one of those like plus sides to the cannabis research, because we're learning more and more about this. For like you were saying, terpenes help carry cannabinoids. Absolutely. And knowing that and trying to put that into food, you're healing from the inside out. You know what I'm saying? So we're, as chefs, always we're doing it now. We're moving to that, to where like, remember when you would feed somebody something 10 years ago and be like, okay, that's great, but how did it make you feel? They're like, I'm not full anymore, not hungry. I love mashed potatoes. So it is what it is. You do that now when a person's got the entourage effect and feeling elevated, they're going to be like, you have no fucking idea. It was like boom, boom, boom. It takes the anxiety of the pressure off of that on the spot question. You see what I'm saying? It breaks that ice for you, where the person's like, yo, come here often. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you feel me? And then they're like, yo, those potatoes made me feel X, Y, and Z. And that is going to start doing better for a chef's mental health.
Oh, hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not just curing one side. It doesn't just affect one side. And that's what people need to stop thinking is like, oh, my actions don't affect yours. They do though. They do. Because it's like the great Mr. Hako here told me earlier, it's all about that vibe. It's all about that vibe. And he's absolutely right. And that's like when I met Hako, I just I knew it was like bearded powers activate. You know what I mean? It was just like I just knew.
I like the new Power Ranger shit. Just like Mighty Morphin
Okay.
beard.
Yes.
Beard tentacles or something. No, speaking of Power Rangers, I may or may not have gotten really high the other night and watched them on Netflix, y'all. Like it's the OG
My
Red
son-
Ranger.
Dude, my son was like obsessed with them, and I didn't realize how many different like episodes they had, like the dinosaurs, the wizards, the witchcraft, all kind of shit. I'm like, where the fuck did this come from?
Oh, it's absolutely insane. I love it. But you know, all of these things make us extremely happy in the world, happy in our daily life. That actually leads us to our last segment of the show, happy. All right, girl. We made it to the end of the show. You're still alive. I'm still alive. I'm stupid high. I love that shirt.
It's
I'm
all
sorry.
good.
That's you got to do a Power Ranger post in that shirt and let me use it. I can't. I'm not taking it. I'm gonna let your son take it. I want one from that. Perfect. You got to tell him what you're doing too, and he'll be like, "This is great. I want one too," and that's fine. He can send one too. That's fine.
We love it.
Because I know you personally. That's what people don't understand, and I can just I'm not gonna use your son in any slanderous material. I'm gonna be like, "Hey, here's mommy." Yeah, exactly. Y'all, if y'all want to film it, hell, that'd be Power Ranger fight. That's happening.
Okay, my ass, he's a freaking black belt.
That's right. No, that's right. Oh yeah. No, he absolutely is.
Whoa.
That absolutely is. So, happiness in 5 words or less. Love. Go.
Oh my god! Like, what does it mean to me, or what? Like, what is my
Sum it up in 5 words. Yeah.
I guess motherhood is basically like my happiness. Just seeing my son with pure joy and cooking. They got like motherhood.
Watching my son smile and cooking. That's good. I'm good with that.
There you go.
There you go. Eric?
We've
entered this so many times. It's just like we have to keep.
Peace.
Yeah, you guys got to keep coming up with new ones.
Sunshine.
It's 3.
Seedlings.
That's 4.
And fungus.
Fungus works. Thank you, because I was doing the shocker way too long.
It can cramp up the arm, man.
Yeah, a little bit. It was funny because I saw the meme the other day. The shocker was actually it's called the Adele in the Urban Dictionary, and it's "Hello from the Other Side" is what they're referring it to. I was like, that is hilarious. Sorry, we're gonna cut that part out maybe, but no.
From the other side.
Happiness to me, man. I usually say smoke weed every day, which usually works, but make sure to wear pants. There we go. Yeah. There we go.
I gotta check every time I go outside now.
Yep. Every single time. Make sure you wear pants.
Sometimes I forget.
If you're doubting your mental health or anything like that, just make sure you wear pants, man. That's it. But Chef Heather, Williams guys, Hell's Kitchen, season 16, season 18. Thank you, Heather. It was an absolute pleasure for coming, to have you on the show. It's seriously, I told you it'd happen. I told you I'd get you on the show. I was like, I'll con you with candy or something.
I patiently waited.
Yeah.
You're doing what you said you were going to do.
Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. And dude, you'll be on again. We're gonna have some, I'm gonna come down and see you. Once this COVID stuff, I'm gonna come down and see you. We'll film something.
Yeah.
Definitely.
PA's starting to get a little crazy, so don't travel yet.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Michigan's right there, but at the same time, it's like I said, once COVID's over, all this is gonna settle down. We're gonna come stop on out. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah, we have to.
What's up? It's overdue. It's overdue at this point. But thank you again for coming on the show.
Yeah, thank you.
Eric, as always, man.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Thank you for having me here, Chef.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a wonderful time.
Absolutely. I'm Chef Rodney 117 from Deliciously Dope. Peace, y'all.